Welcome to our podcast. Should we eat less rice? Rice is everywhere. It's in your bowl, your lunchbox, your favorite comfort food. It's cheap, filling, easy to cook. And for a lot of people, it's impossible to imagine a meal without it. But if you're trying to lose weight or improve your health, is rice actually helping or making things harder? Let's talk about carbs. Rice is a carbohydrate, and not just any carb, a high-carb, high-glycemic food. When you eat it, your body breaks it down into glucose fast. The glucose enters your bloodstream, spikes your blood sugar, and triggers insulin release. If your body needs energy, it uses that glucose. If it doesn't, it stores it. And where does it get stored? As fat. Now, not all carbs are bad. Your body needs them for energy. The problem starts when you eat too many, especially refined carbs like white rice. It's stripped of fiber, digests quickly, and leads to those blood sugar spikes that leave you feeling hungry again not long after. That's why a big bowl of rice might fill you up at first, but 2 hours later you're craving snacks. Over time, this cycle can lead to weight gain, insulin resistance, and an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. And here's something most people don't realize. Your body doesn't handle all carbs the same way. Compare rice to something like vegetables or whole grains. Those have fiber, which slows digestion and keeps blood sugar stable. Rice, especially white rice, lacks that fiber. That's why, gram for gram, it affects blood sugar more than many other carb sources. So does that mean you should stop eating rice completely? Not necessarily. The key is balance. If your diet is heavy in rice, especially big portions, multiple times a day, with little protein or fiber to balance it out, yes, that can contribute to weight gain and metabolic issues. But if you control portions, choose better types of rice, and pair it with the right foods, you can still enjoy it without the downsides. Let's talk solutions. If you want to lose weight or keep blood sugar in check, the easiest fix is to eat less rice. Instead of making it the main part of your meal, think of it as a side. Fill most of your plate with protein, healthy fats, and fiber-rich vegetables. Swap white rice for brown rice, black rice, or even quinoa. These options have more fiber, digest slower, and don't spike blood sugar as much. And portion control, this is a big one. A standard serving of rice is about half a cup cooked, but most people eat way more than that without realizing it. If you're piling your plate with rice and treating it as a free pass, because it's a staple food, that's where weight gain sneaks in. There's also a simple trick to make rice healthier. Cool it down before eating. When rice is cooked and then cooled, it forms resistant starch, which acts like fiber. This slows digestion, reduces the impact on blood sugar, and even helps feed good gut bacteria. If you love rice but want to manage weight better, try cooking it ahead of time, refrigerating it, and then reheating before eating. At the end of the day, it's not about demonizing rice. It's about understanding how it affects your body and making smart choices. If your goal is to lose weight or improve health, cutting back on rice, especially refined, white rice, is one of the simplest and most effective changes you can make. Not by starving yourself, not by eliminating all carbs, but by eating with awareness. Because weight gain doesn't just happen overnight, and it doesn't happen because of one food. It's about long-term habits. And if rice is a big part of yours, maybe it's time to rethink how much and how often you're eating it. Another thing to consider is how rice interacts with your metabolism. When you eat a high-carb meal centered around rice, your body prioritizes burning that glucose for energy. That might sound like a good thing, but here's the catch. When your body is constantly flooded with easy-to-burn carbs, it doesn't need to tap into stored fat for fuel. That means if you're trying to lose weight, eating a lot of rice can actually slow down fat loss because your body is always burning the readily available carbs instead. And let's talk about how rice affects hunger and cravings. Have you ever noticed that after a big rice-heavy meal, you feel full but then get hungry again surprisingly fast? That's because refined carbs like white rice cause rapid blood sugar spikes, followed by crashes. That crash signals to your brain that you need more energy, leading to cravings, especially for more carbs. This is one of the reasons why people who eat a lot of white rice often struggle with constant hunger and snacking throughout the day. The more your blood sugar fluctuates, the harder it is to control your appetite. Now, here's something even more surprising. Rice isn't just about weight gain. It can also affect your overall health in ways most people don't realize. High rice consumption has been linked to an increased risk of type 2 diabetes, especially in populations that rely heavily on white rice as a staple. Studies have shown that frequent spikes in blood sugar over time lead to insulin resistance, where your cells stop responding properly to insulin. When that happens, your body has to produce more and more insulin to keep blood sugar under control. Eventually, this can lead to prediabetes, and if left unchecked, full-blown diabetes. And it's not just about blood sugar. Eating too much rice, particularly refined white rice, has been associated with a higher risk of metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions that include high blood pressure, high blood sugar, excess belly fat, and abnormal cholesterol levels. This combination significantly raises the risk of heart disease and stroke. If your diet is built around large portions of rice with little fiber or protein to balance it out, you could be setting yourself up for long-term health problems without even realizing it. There's also the issue of how rice is processed and prepared. The way you cook and eat rice affects how your body responds to it. Fried rice, for example, adds extra oils and calories, making it even more likely to contribute to weight gain. Sticky rice has a higher glycemic index than long-grain varieties, meaning it raises blood sugar even faster. Even instant rice, which is pre-cooked and dehydrated for quick preparation, is processed in a way that makes it digest much faster than regular rice, leading to sharper blood sugar spikes. And then there's the hidden danger that most people don't think about: arsenic. Rice absorbs more arsenic from the soil and water than most other grains. Long-term exposure to arsenic, even in small amounts, has been linked to an increased risk of cancer, heart disease, and neurological issues. Brown rice actually contains more arsenic than white rice because arsenic accumulates in the outer layers of the grain. That doesn't mean you have to cut rice out completely, but it does mean you should be mindful of where your rice comes from and how often you eat it. Washing rice thoroughly before cooking and using a high water to rice ratio can help reduce arsenic levels. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? Should you stop eating rice entirely? Not necessarily. But if you're eating large amounts of rice every day and struggling with weight gain, blood sugar issues, or energy crashes, it's worth rethinking how much you're consuming. Cutting back on rice and replacing part of it with fiber-rich vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats can make a huge difference in how you feel and how your body processes food. One simple change you can make is switching to lower-carb alternatives, like cauliflower rice or konjac rice, which provide a similar texture with a fraction of the carbs and calories. If you're not ready to give up rice completely, at least consider switching to varieties like black rice or basmati rice, which have a lower glycemic index and more nutritional benefits. At the end of the day, food isn't just about what tastes good or what we're used to eating. It's about how it fuels our bodies. Rice isn't the enemy, but eating too much of it without balance can absolutely work against your health goals. Whether you want to lose weight, prevent disease, or simply feel better throughout the day, being mindful of your rice intake is a small but powerful step in the right direction. Thanks for your time. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. Also, feel free to share your thoughts or any questions you have in the comments below.